रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवतीम् उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठकी. Grandraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So we're reading Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter number 10, titled as Divisions of Creation, text number 6. The shloka is on the screen. Tapasa hi ye dhamanena, tapasa hi ye dhamanena, Vidhaya cha atma samsthaya Vidyaya cha atma samsthaya Vivruddha vijnana balo Vivruddha vijnana balo Nyapadvayum sahambasa Nyapadvayum sahambasa. One more time. तपसा हि धमानेन विद्या च आत्मसंस्थया विवृद्ध विज्ञान बलो न्यायपादवायुं सहाम्बसा. Translation. Long penance and transcendental knowledge of self-realization had matured Brahma in practical knowledge, and thus he drank the wind completely along with the water. So Brahmaji is doing tapasya here as per the instruction of Lord Vishnu. At that time Brahmaji saw that there was a wind and lots of water around him and lots of wind, and because of the wind the lotus flower on which Brahmaji was sitting was shaking. But here the shloka says that because of the tapasya, long penance is very important in life. Tapasya brahmacharyena. So here we can see that after doing the tapasya, Brahmaji acquired the transcendental knowledge, and because of that he had self-realization, and because of that he became matured in his practical knowledge. So maturity in practical knowledge is very important, not to take rash decisions. So because of that he could tolerate the disturbances around him. That is what this shloka is saying. Prabhupada is explaining the purport. Lord Brahma's struggle for existence is a personal example of continued fight between the living entities in the material world and illusionary energy called as Maya. So there is a continuous fight. There is a struggle. What is this struggle? Struggle of living entity with Maya. Living entities, they try to be independent and Maya keeps them bounding. So that is the struggle between all of us. Everybody wants to be the controller. So they try to control material nature, they try to control people around us, they try to exploit. When you want to control others, which means that you want to be the boss. But when you are not the boss and you want to be boss, then you are in trouble. And that is exactly what is happening here. That the living entities, they want to be the supreme. But they cannot be supreme because the supreme is Krishna. But more they try to be supreme, then the Maya will slap them. Maya will say that you are not the supreme, but then still living entity wants to be supreme. In the material world, we can see that the scientists are trying to invent different things, and some of the invention of scientists are like nuclear bombs. And the purpose of nuclear bomb is that one country wants to be the supreme over the other. They have invented so many weapons. They have invented so many chemicals. Now, what is happening with these weapons and ammunition and chemicals and all this? That country is attacking another country, right? And then there is a fight going on between the living entity because one living entity wants to prove that they are better than others. And this continuous fight of supremacy is because of illusion called as Maya. Because people don't know under the illusion that nobody is supreme, the supreme is Krishna. But then people are fighting for the supremacy. The beginning from the Brahma down to this age, the living entities are struggling with the forces of material nature. Everybody is struggling, right? There are four types of people who come to Krishna consciousness, and all four of them have some sort of a struggle. First is people who are in distress, uh, people who have personal difficulties. Artharthi. Second type of people are people who are looking for some money. Artharthi. Then Gnani. Jnanis are also trying to know Krishna in various ways, so they come to temple. And Harta, Artharthi, Gnani and Jignashu. So Jignashu is people are inquisitive. What is this Krishna consciousness? Let me check out. People are struggling, so then they come to Krishna. So the forces of material nature is Maya's job, struggling. So Maya will force you to suffer. And once you suffer, then people come to Krishna consciousness, or they come to Krishna actually, somehow or other. Uh, but then there are some people who are Muda, who, in spite of all this, they will never come. They were called Muda. By the advanced knowledge in science and transcendental realization, one can try to control the material energy which works against our endeavors. And in the modern age, advanced material scientific knowledge and finance have played very wonderful roles in controlling the powers of material energy. Such control of material energy, however, can be most successfully carried out if one is the soul surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and carries out the order in the spirit of loving transcendental service. So, Prabhupada is saying that whatever the scientific knowledge we have, all that knowledge should be used in service of Krishna. If we use it in service of Krishna, then only this knowledge has some utility. Anything which has no use for service of Krishna is useless actually. So you might have lots of zeros, 1 0, 2 0, 5 0, 100 zeros, but all zeros have value is 0. But if you add 1 in front of that 0, that number becomes very big number. Similarly, we might have lot of material powers, material strength, material opulences, but all of them are equal to 0. But if you use all of that in service of Krishna, then that becomes 1, a big number. So hence we have to use everything in service of Krishna, and that is the role of human life. Human life is meant for tapasya, and once we do tapasya for the Kali Yuga is Harit Nama Eva Kevalam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So more we chant this mantra, then we will get enlightenment. Once we get enlightened and we have self-realization, then we'll become mature in our devotional life, in our spiritual life, even in our material life. And then whatever the problems comes in the life, we'll be able to tolerate. As Brahmaji could tolerate, is another example of Lord Shiva. Lord Shivji is a great Vaishnava, and this Vaishnava could drink the whole poison, a halahal, when the Sagar Manthan was going on, Samudra Manthan, and then the poison came, and who drank the poison? It's Lord Shiva. Why Lord Shiva? Because Lord Shiva is always doing penance, tapasya. He is always chanting Lord's name. And when the time came uh, to save all the living entities for the benefit of everybody, Shivji drank the poison called halahal. We hold in the neck. It's called Nilakantha Mahadev. So you can see that once you become mature, then you don't worry about the well-being of yours. You worry about the well-being of everybody else. That is the stage of maturity. Srila Prabhupada came to America and after going through all the troubles, all the difficulties, he established Krishna consciousness movement. and then he spread the Krishna consciousness movement. Most hard work was done by Srila Prabhupada, but that is because he had done long tapasya. Without tapasya, if you try to do the things, it will not work. You will be immature. So one has to do a lot of tapasya, a lot of chanting, a lot of preparation. Tapasya is preparation, chanting is preparation. And once you do that, then Krishna will bless you. And then you become mature in your behavior, then you are able to tolerate the nonsense of others. You need a lot of tolerance, in Krishna consciousness. Utsaha, Nishchaya and Dhairya. Dhairya is patience, tolerance is required. You will come across so many difficult people in Krishna consciousness. If you become angry, if you become disturbed, then it will not work. Hence, in Krishna consciousness, we have to be tolerant. And that tolerance will come when we are matured, when we know that everybody makes a mistake. Why do we get disturbed, right? And then we try to show them the path. Sometimes, after telling some people a couple of times, maybe more than a couple of times, they don't listen. Then we don't. There's no point in becoming angry with them. You have to give them space and let them decide with what they want. Actually, you can't force anyone, right? You can bring the horse to the water. You can't force the horse to drink the water. Similarly, we can bring people to Krishna consciousness. We can bring them to the temple, but we can't force them to become Krishna conscious. It's up to them. If they really want, they will take it. If not, then we give some time to them. One day time will come, maybe not if in this life or maybe in the next life, that they will take to Krishna consciousness. Everybody in the world is looking for peace, and the peace is there in Krishna. Everybody is looking for joy. The joy is there in Krishna. Everybody is there looking for knowledge. Knowledge is there in Krishna because Krishna is Sachitananda Vigraha. However, when there is a curtain between you and Krishna, you cannot see Krishna, and then you can't have joy, peace, or happiness in your life or knowledge. Similarly, we have to remove the curtain. Only then we will be able to see Krishna and get peace, joy, and knowledge as well. So, Krishna consciousness is a transcendental science, but you need a proper channel. You need a proper guru, like Srila Prabhupada, who can establish us strongly in Krishna consciousness. So, with that, we'll pause for today and we'll continue our reading of Srimad Bhagavatam tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.